Have you ever wondered why we are so panically afraid of the dark? It's not a hunter's instinct. It's memory. Here's what I saw in the darkness during a real blackout. What I'm about to tell you is not an urban legend. It happened when the city grid died, and we were left without the protection of the electromagnetic dome. Are you sure your flashlight will scare off what has been waiting for centuries for us to turn off the lights? The grid went down on Thursday at 1842. 3 days later, the city turned into a concrete crypt. But looters were the least of our problems. The real horror began when I realized I was not alone in that emptiness. I saw their shape, or rather, the absence of shape. And today I'll tell you why those who survived the first week now permanently seal their windows with foil and never light candles after midnight. Watch till the end if you want to know which light frequency actually stops them. Part 1: The Death of Civilization. It all started routinely. A click and silence. At first you think, okay, just an outage. You check your phone, no signal. You go to the window, the entire horizon is black. No lights. It was SHTF in its purest form. By the second night, the city fell silent. Without the hum of cars and the buzz of refrigerators, the silence became physical. It pressed on your ears. I was prepared. I had water supplies, filters, a go bag. But I wasn't prepared for the very nature of the darkness to change. Without electrical smog, the air became transparent. Too transparent. On the third night, I was sitting on my balcony on the 12th floor. Down below, in the empty courtyards, something was moving. But these were not people. People make noise. People use flashlights. These glided. Like oil slicks in a puddle, only in the air. Part 2: Mysticism and the Shadows. I turned on my tactical flashlight at 2000 lumens. A sharp beam cut through the courtyard. And that's when I truly felt sick. Where the light fell, there was nothing. Empty. But as soon as I moved the beam away, in my peripheral vision I saw the shadows scattering. They weren't hiding from the light, they were hiding in the viewing angle. I understood the logic too late. Our electromagnetic background, Wi-Fi, radio waves, power lines, all of it had been creating a barrier for decades. A kind of white noise that prevented these entities from manifesting in our layer of reality. The blackout destroyed the cage. My neighbor from apartment 42 went out onto the stairwell that night. He had an ordinary wax candle. I heard him scream. Not from pain, from surprise. When I rushed out with a flashlight, the landing was empty. The candle lay on the floor, it wasn't extinguished, it was crushed, as if all the wax had been squeezed out of it. No one ever saw the neighbor again. Not that night, not a month later. Part 3: SHTF Survival. That night, they came for me. I locked myself in the bathroom, no windows there. I heard something scratching in the hallway. But it wasn't the sound of claws. It was the sound of static electricity. A crackling in absolute silence. I made a mistake, I turned off the flashlight to save batteries. And then I felt the cold. Not frost, but a complete absence of heat. In the darkness, it appeared. Something resembling a human outline, but made of interference, like on an old television. It didn't attack. It just stood there and absorbed the remaining heat from the air. I understood, they don't need our lives. They need our energy, which they lost when the city went dark. I felt for the strobe light in my pocket. One short pulse. The flash blinded me too, but in that moment the creature made a sound like tearing metal and simply collapsed in on itself. Final conclusions and warning. When the power came back after 10 days, the government blamed everything on mass psychosis due to sleep deprivation and stress. But I know what I saw. And I know why now. In every district of the city there are strange repeaters that don't provide connection but constantly hum at a low frequency. If the grid goes down again tomorrow, don't rely on candles. For them, candles are like a beacon to a hungry beast. Stock up on powerful LED lamps with a spectrum close to ultraviolet. That's the only thing that burns their skin. If this story made you think about your survival kit and what really hides in the shadows, hit like. Share in the comments, have you ever seen something unexplainable during a blackout? Your stories might save someone's life next time. Subscribe to the channel, we reveal hidden threats and SHTF scenarios every week. Stay safe. And keep a flashlight close.